here.
All right, and then I have the participants. I'll handle that.
Okay. I'll do the Facebook Live right now. Welcome everybody to Healing Conversations. Today we have Ruth Verrelst. Please excuse me if
Yeah,
I
that's
pronounce that.
perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So Facebook Live is happening. We are live. Welcome to Healing Conversations. We are live on Facebook with Ruth Verrelst. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, we say Verrelst, but that's a difficult r. It's something very
Verrelst.
European. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we're at the top of the hour. We're 1 minute past the hour. We'll give it a couple minutes to let everybody trickle in.
Sure.
So today we have I feel like a very important subject that is so much of us don't really think about. I think a lot of the times we just go unconscious and do life, and we do a lot of things that we're not just we're not really happy with, that we're
Yeah.
doing it begrudgingly, or we're not doing it 100%, and we just feel we don't feel our best. And so today Ruth is going to delve into the subject of discover the four centers, your tantric compass to authentic living. So what I
Yes.
like to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that what this means is being able to look at your entire being. And when you're doing something, it's a full body, mind, heart, yes,
Yeah.
versus something where I think so, maybe, I'm 90%, no, wait, I'm 50-50, and it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be talking about today. Got some more people trickling in here, more of our regulars. How's your date going, Ruth?
Very good. Thank you. I'm happy. I'm so honored to be invited in your tribe and in your community. So my day is perfect. A good slow morning, then some clients, and now talking to you guys. So that's a perfect day.
Right. Well, I appreciate you being here and shining your light and creating some awareness, because I know, as I was mentioning earlier before we started recording the call and going live on Facebook, that I struggled with congruency.
Yeah.
Probably almost all my life, there's been like this, I have to do this. One big example is sacrificing for family. Like sometimes,
Yeah.
like we do things that don't make us feel good, but we do it because we think we have to, when we're not really taking care of ourselves. And so I am the master of that. I did that quite a bit.
Oh,
Um, One of my
yeah.
friends 4 or 5 years ago has said, "Wait, you're not congruent." And so then I talked to a mutual friend, a therapist, to help me look at and examine myself. How am I not being congruent? How am I not
Mhm.
fully honoring my expression? How am I putting myself second? And so that was a journey that took me several years, and it's still ongoing. I still reflect on, is this a full body yes? Is this a full body, mind, and heart yes?
Yeah.
As far as decisions that I'm making. And so sometimes we have to hit our heads on the wall a couple of times, or run into the wall a couple of times, to realize the hard way, am I really being congruent? So it's 11:04. We'll honor the people that are on the call, and we'll have some more people trickle in. So today's topic, as I mentioned, is discover the four centers, your tantric compass to authentic living. We have Ruth Verrelst, who I met in Costa Rica. She's a life coach. We have some more people trickling in. And so a little bit about the four centers, the tantric four centers, because I know that was a foreign term to me. So just to give us a little background on that. So the four centers help us unlock immense wisdom. By connecting with and becoming deeply aware of these four centers, we'll discover a powerful tool for navigating life and having that internal compass that always points us in the right direction. Each center carries vital messages and profound wisdom, guiding us to to true alignment, I should say. According to
Mhm.
Tantra, achieving a full yes from all centers aligns us with your life's purpose, allowing our energy to flow freely through our entire body versus
Mhm.
feeling stuck and clunky.
Yeah.
This alignment empowers you to make pure and authentic decisions in every aspect of your life, with your four centers becoming your personal compass and direction. So a little bit about Ruth. Again, I met her in Costa Rica. She's also a loving mother, devoted partner, and a friend. With an academic background, is a former professor in healthy lifestyle at the University of, and I'm probably not going to pronounce this correctly, Vrije University, Brussels, in Brussels, Belgium.
Yeah.
Ruth has dedicated her life to the pursuit of well-being and holistic health. So her transition from the academia field into mentorship and life coaching was fueled by her profound empathy and understanding for the human experience. Today, Ruth serves as a trusted mentor and confidant to highly successful individuals who grapple with the isolation of leadership, the relentless pressures of a mental rat race, the burdens of having these high standards, all this dogma, logical rules of how to be. So, drawing from her scientific background and compassionate nature, Ruth now helps her clients navigate all these challenges, guiding them towards a more balanced and fulfilling life, really honoring their internal compass of what is a full body yes for them. So, without further ado, welcome, Ruth.
Oh, thank you so much for the introduction, Noe. I think I want to add that I love how we met. We met at this beautiful festival. We were enjoying pounding music. You were totally in the front, not wearing earplugs, just enjoying. I remembered I was like, this guy, how does he do it? Like, so,
Oh
and
no, I ended up getting earplugs. You guys were
yeah,
asking me every single day,
that's
get
good.
earplugs, get earplugs. Yeah, I'm
That's
a
so
little
good.
wild.
And I remember that we like talked for 2 minutes and the word purpose already came out in the conversation. Like I really appreciate your openness, your open heart, and your purpose, and this platform that you're creating with so much bravery and vulnerability. So thank you so much for the invitation. And I am so honored to meet members of your tribe. I want to talk about something that is actually so simple, but it's not. It's like it's so simple when you talk about it, like the four centers, you can tune in. But if you are at crossroads and big decisions come your way, it's not easy. It's not easy. And you, in your introduction about talking about your alignment and not being aligned, you say a lot already in there. It's not easy. I feel stuck, or we were talking about it before we went online. You are convincing yourself in your head. You're like talking to yourself, or you are convincing other people of your own path. And that is sometimes, I wouldn't say a red flag, but maybe it's something to dive into. I was at crossroads a few years ago when I was struggling with I was convincing myself about my career as a professor. I was actually proud. I worked so hard to achieve it. I was in the room with all those men. I was that young woman that achieved the professor position. So I was so, in my head, it was such a strong story. And then I felt it was like such a cold feeling, leaving the house, leaving my boys early in the morning. I felt some coldness. I cannot describe it in another way. At that moment, it was like a little bit like, it was not a warm feeling. And I didn't know how to reflect or go deeper into that. Then I went to Costa Rica. I felt that I had to dive into those feelings and everything. And then I came across a woman who I appreciate immensely. She's a sexologist. She's a tantric practitioner. She's Juliet Allen. She's a beautiful woman. She's Australian. You can look her up. She's very authentic. She talks about everything about intimacy, life, business, purpose, like being in love with life. And she says, so she taught me little things about Tantra. And she says, like, in Tantra, you want to choose, Tantra is like a way of living. You want to choose with awareness what brings you joy in every area of your life. So it seems simple, but if you go back, like choose with awareness what brings you joy in every area of your life. It seems so simple, but do we choose everything like this brings me joy? It's good to reflect on that. And then she has like this tool, and maybe you want to get a pen and a paper out, because it's so simple, but it's so good for me. It has been life-changing. So I'm going to tell you about the center. So the first center is in your head. The first center is your head. So it tells you everything. We're going to do a little exercise because it's going to be so clear. You can take those tools for everything in life, but very much also for like a partner, for a love partner. Like if you are in a loving relationship or you have a love connection with someone, picture that person now picture that person. And now we're going to go into the centers, and you're going to feel immediately what I mean by the 4 centers. So in your head, you're like, oh, this person, he or she challenges me on an intellectual level. It's your thoughts, it's like the practical things, it's aligned, the practical things are aligned, you feel challenged by thoughts, by conversations, that is in your head. Then we have our heart. Our heart is like that warm, safe feeling. You're with that person and you feel that safe, warm, loving feeling. Even if that person is not with you at that moment, they still like, you know that they will take care of you even from afar. It's very safe, very warm. Then we have our tummy. Our tummy is like, oh my God, that person is so inspiring. It's fun. They bring out the best in me. They make me laugh. It's fun. It's inspiring. They make me wonder. They surprise me. It's like all those like the butterfly fun feeling. And then you have like your sex center. That's the 4th. And that's really like the physical attraction. You feel, wow, that person, there's a chemistry about them. It's so attractive, like it's magnetic. So those are the 4 centers. You can feel, if you picture that person with you, the person that you have a love connection with right now, or you had a love connection with, like you can feel, yeah, intellectually, heart, maybe like if you go on the dance floor, maybe you find someone so attractive, physically so attractive, you have a beautiful adventure, and the next morning you feel so empty, like there's missing something. And that's maybe because you didn't have a heart connection with that person, or you didn't have the intellectual connection with that person. That could be the case. Or the other way around, you have like this relationship and it's a very good relationship. It's a good guy, it's a good woman. They are so intelligent, they have a good job, they make you feel safe, but there's no chemistry. There's no fun, so what they say in the tantric practice, they say if you have a 3 or a 4 out of 4, so a 3 out of 4 or a 4 out of 4 in the centers, if you have like 3 yeses or 4 yeses, you are making a good decision. You can go for it, you know? And when I listened to it, I felt like this is so interesting. And you can really like, I want to hear your thoughts about it after I explained everything. I think it's so interesting. And then we can I used it in other things, like with my professor, it was just in my head. It was not a warm feeling. It was no fun at all. And it was definitely not something like the sexual attraction is not like, if you have other things than love, you have the excitement, you know, you want to share it with your best friend. You want to share it with, everyone, you know, that's excitement. I was not excited about my, I don't know, my 1,000 meetings and my 100 meetings in the week. It's so I started to use it like even to buy my house. I was on the driveway, I saw the house and I felt, my God, I feel this is, we can do this. I feel such a warm feeling here. It's so much fun. It's so inspiring. It's in nature. And I want to tell everyone about it. I want to tell my friends. So it was a full body yes. And the day itself, we bought the house. So it's, when I think about before I knew the tool, I think it took me a long time sometimes to take decisions and then also think back, did I make the good decision? Was that okay? Was that? So now I feel I am making a good decision because it really aligns for me right now. I have good intentions for myself, for other persons. And it feels good. And it's dynamic. It's a dynamic journey. Like in a relationship, sometimes you lose the center. You can lose the fun because you get trapped in busy life and everything, and you can bring it back. You can feel like, oh, we are not making fun at all. So we need to focus on the fun. And maybe if 3 years later, there's still no fun, or 1 year later, you made an effort, there's still no fun, maybe it's time to reconsider. Maybe, yeah, you are ready to make a new decision. So for me, it has brought me so much peace. It's also interesting to start. I mentioned like the head, the heart, the tummy, the sex center. Sometimes it's interesting to start the other way around because our head, like you said, Noe, is so strong. You can overrule all the other centers. So it's sometimes interesting to start the other way up. My intention today is really to give you this tool that has really, it has brought some light in my decisions and also some, I'm trying to find a word, permission for myself to make those decisions. Like sometimes you hear people say, should I follow my head or my heart? And then I'm like, where is the third option that you find, yeah, something that your head and your heart is happy about, you know? Why you are one body, everything is connected to each other. If you make decisions like, I really make this with my head, but not with my heart, I don't know. Maybe you should take some time then. Maybe it's not, there's another option or there's another path or, yeah. And Noe, you said something very interesting in the beginning, like making big sacrifices for family. I think that is such a challenge. And I do believe that if we take some time sometimes and feel in your body for full body yeses, and you speak with love and respect and good intention, that you are showing love to yourself, and then you give the permission to the other one to do exactly the same thing without any judgment. Like I am taking care for myself. I don't want to be selfish, or I feel this is authentic to me, and I give you the permission to feel. You can also feel in all your centers, is this okay for you? You give the permission to somebody else to do the same. So yeah, that's in a nutshell what I wanted to talk about today. And I think I love it. I'm very passionate about it. I hope that maybe it helps one of you guys to make decisions that really are authentic to you and will bring love and energy and authentic energy on your path.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
I
I
appreciate
love
you
to
sharing.
hear your thoughts or your questions.
Yeah, this is a great time to have everybody that's here on the call chime in. Any thoughts, any reflections, any questions, any insights that you have, anything you would like to add, maybe share a story. Maybe something's happening where you're not sure.
Yeah.
This is be a good time for all of us to get together and support you. We have an expert here on the art of having a full alignment, yes, with
Yeah.
your core centers. Or maybe you want to dive into one of the centers, you're not quite sure, what is that? So
Yeah.
right now would be a great time to ask. So I also appreciate it. Well, we get people ready to ask questions. I appreciated what you said because I'm the one that has vacillated between, is this a decision based on my mind or is this a decision based on my heart? And it almost seems like it's been a battle whenever it's one or the other. One, logic, reason, does this decision make sense? But with the mind likes to create all kinds of scenarios and stories when it's a
Yeah.
mind type of decision. Whereas the heart just like, is this right? And it
Yeah.
doesn't care about all the logic. That's been my process throughout my life. Is this a heart decision or is this a mind decision? But I appreciate what you said. Why can't there be a third or fourth option that's like a
Yeah.
tiebreaker per se? Can you speak a
Yeah.
little bit more about that? How has that been transformational for you? Or can you give us some examples of that?
There was actually one, I don't remember who it was, but there was someone in Costa Rica, one of the teachers, that said, you can ask yourself, what would love do? What would intelligence do? But what would intelligent love do?
Ooh.
So that's what that really like, whoa, that came in like, I was like, wow, that is such a good question. And it's so important what you're saying about all the scenarios in our head, because indeed you have to be aware of that your mind, I'm going a little bit on a scientific part now, but your mind, it doesn't really want you, I'm going to say something very strange, but it's true. Your mind, your brain, it doesn't really want you to be happy. It's not its first concern. It's not that it doesn't want you to be happy, but it is not like your brain is like, you know what, guys, we have to survive. You have to survive and make a lot of kids and keep this species going on. Like, no happy. It's not wired. Your brain is not wired to be happy. You have to put effort in it. Like, we have those beautiful systems in our brain. Like, I don't know if you resonate with it. Like,
100%.
sometimes I have two boys, and when they were little, I dreamt of a buggy. Like, I don't know, is it the good word, in a trolley or something to put your kids in and go walking? How is it called
Stroller.
in English? A stroller? Yeah,
Stroller, yeah.
So you have like double strollers or something that you put both kids in. I was like dreaming of a double stroller. And suddenly, everywhere I looked, I saw double strollers. Because I picked something in my, I was like, I want that. And then everywhere but last week they were also there, but I wasn't paying attention. So it's the same with training your mind to be happy. If you train your mind, like, I want to see positive things, your mind will start scanning for positive things. If you are like, oh my God, this is going to be dramatic. This is so bad. This is, I don't know what, your doom scenarios. Your mind will scan for doom scenarios. So our brain, it's so beautiful, but it's so powerful. We have to be aware of the fact that we have to train our minds to see opportunities and the good things, because your mind it rather stays in a unpleasant situation because, hey, we survived so far, so let's stay here. instead of doing new things that are going to make you super happy, but it's new and the brain doesn't like it. Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I learned well, over the last 4 or 5 years, really to look at myself, become aware of who I was, and then once I saw that everything that the mind created, all these stories, is simply a perspective, and
Yeah.
mostly based on fear and trying to protect me, trying to keep me safe from dangers that really don't exist, that are made up in the mind. And a lot of times we're living out of fear is really what you're speaking to. And we're really creating our reality. It's like, another example that I'll throw in there is like when you decide to buy a car and all of a sudden you like, wait, I like this Toyota, I like this Audi, this Mercedes, this Honda, or whatever. And you start seeing that car everywhere.
You see him everywhere.
Same
That's
example
so
with
good.
stores.
And we have a limited amount of things you can put in your scanner, and your brain will help you. Like, ooh, what do we want to scan? And it's so powerful if you play with it for positive thinking and seeing opportunities. But it is. So what I want to get at with that side story is that we have to be aware of our mind and our hearts, because our mind, we have to ask ourselves, you can see it like, I heard somebody say that, I think it was such a good story, like you are a boat, you're the captain, and somebody is standing in the front, like screaming about all the danger stuff. I don't know how that guy is called in boat life, but there's the guy in the front, and you can see it as your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain will, oh my God, don't go there. There's an iceberg there, or there's, I don't know. So your boat will circle around and go nowhere. So you have to be aware as a captain. The captain is your full body. The captain has to say sometimes, thank you, mind, but we are going that way. I know that you're scared. It's okay, thank you, but we're going anyway. So make your decisions, your story. You have to, if you want to focus on, is this a full body yes? Is my mind saying yes? If your mind is saying no, try to figure out, is it anxiety, or is it like, no, it's just no, it doesn't resonate for me. And sometimes it's a bit exciting, but yeah, it's exciting, but I feel a yes. But maybe I say no. That is a good thing to say yes. If it feels like, oh my God, no, then it's a good no. If it's no because, oh, maybe this will happen. So don't make decisions based on fear. Like if this, but what if you succeed? What then? So yeah, if you feel a no in that is good to talk about it. So thank you for your question. If you feel a no in your head, you go reflect on that. Is it anxiety, or is it like a full no? No, it doesn't resonate.
No, I agree 100% with what you're saying. As I was saying earlier, a lot of times we're saying no because our mind is acting out of fear, and these no's are projections from past experiences that we're creating our decisions, our no's from those past fails, those past experiences that we deemed, that wasn't good. So our mind is really trying to protect us from dangers that don't exist, situations that happened to us in the past, and it's superimposing those situations in our present. And our present is affecting our future, because now all of a sudden we're living our life in a loop. We're stuck in this fear loop of making the same decisions, trying to keep us safe from dangers that don't exist. They only exist where? In our mind.
Yeah.
So I agree 100%. So being able to examine
the no in your head. That's maybe a very good insight. Thank you for your question. That's such a good one, because the mind will say more no than it will say yes. If you want to make a decision that will bring change. So go into that no. What is that no? Is it a fearful one? And that's okay. We don't have to judge it. And sometimes it's, you talk about dangers that you like maybe felt in the early life stage, or maybe it was even not danger that happened to you, but to your parents or to the people that when we are between our 0 and 7, we have a lot of neurons that mirror. So you look, babies, children, like even a little deer, it looks at her mom. Ooh, that sound, she reacts like this. Ooh, this, we can eat this. So everything is, they observe you. So you will, as a child, you absorb everything, the tone of the voice. Ooh, I heard something, we should be scared of this. Okay, we're gonna stick it, we're gonna, put it there. This is dangerous. So it might even never happen to you. And it's just passed on by a generation.
Unquestioned belief systems that are just so entrained in our way of being,
Yeah,
just
it's
simply
so strong.
unconscious. We don't know what we don't know. And it's a
No.
lot. That's what I've discovered. So it's
Yeah.
good to reflect and take a step back and look at things from an objective and neutral perspective. And that
Yeah.
takes a lot of sometimes effort and awareness to be able to step out of the character. So, but there's many ways to do that, and I appreciate you creating that awareness. Again, I'd like to open it up to see if anybody has any questions.
Sorry.
I know I have more questions, but would love to hear what everybody else. It looks like Rose, you unmuted yourself, or Dakota.
I'm gonna mute
Or it looks like
myself.
we have 3 people here. We have Josh, Rose, and Dakota.
Dakota, you go ahead.
Hi. My question is, what ways do you use to connect to your heart and listen to your heart?
That is a good question. Thank you. Dakota, do I say it right?
Yes, that's correct.
For me, my heart is like a warm and very safe feeling. Also, a feeling like that you can take a deep breath in and out. It feels like it's easy. It's warm. It's love. It's it also brings a little like, maybe the younger version yourself also feels good about it. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a warm, safe feeling. And I think something in your body happens, like you can breathe out, you're safe. That is my heart sentiment. It's certainly in a scientific way linked to your whole nervous system. When you feel this warm, loving feeling, like, so I quit my job as a professor, and everyone thought I was nuts. Like, are you crazy? My parents are like, okay, we love you, but are you sure? Like, that is such a big decision. And I was like, I feel so much love in that decision. I was like, I remember I was standing and I was signing a contract, and I was like, oh my God, yes, I'm gonna quit. So it was so good. It was warm, good. I loved it. Yeah. So
Thank you.
thank you.
That's very.
Does it resonate? Does it help a little?
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if you have something now that you miss that warm feeling. Maybe in your job, maybe also in friendships or relationships, it can be the case. And then you can really ask yourself, can I bring it back? So I made a big decision, and it may come across like, wow, she made that decision. It took me 6 years. I was assistant, and then I was already during my assistant career thinking, is this really for me? So it's you can take your time. Not 6 years, that's not a good plan, but you can take your time. You don't have to be like, okay, I feel this now, I'm going to take some time. Next week, how do I feel about it? Or and if you feel an emptiness, like maybe you don't feel the warm and the love feeling, can you bring it back? Can you do something? Can you, if it's with a partner or with a friend, can you talk about it and express that you want to work on the warmth and the loving feeling? Or does it stay away? Does the job if you reflect on a job and you talk with your colleagues, or you take a good look at your business, and you cannot change anything that gives you that warm feeling, and it's like 6 months, a year far, then maybe you can make a decision like, I really give myself the permission to manifest something that gives me love, a job, a purpose, a partner, a friend. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope it helps a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dakota. Looks like we have Josh or Rose. I'm not sure who was first, but it looks like Rose is unmuted.
Yeah. Ruth, thank you for the insight, because like I felt the same way. I like what you said about our brain wants to protect us or make decision
Yeah.
that keeps us safe. And I did that. I went to school, I graduated, and after that I started a business, and it was good, the start, but then I realized when it wasn't bringing me that joy. I was just doing it for the sake of it because my brain told me that, oh, if you make the decision and it's safe. So, but then you feel exhausted because you can feel it's not in alignment, because you feel,
Very true.
yeah, you feel like drained, and you're always in a hurry, and you're so anxious, and that's how you know that it's not in alignment. And the moment I realized that, and then it's, oh my God, it's just making me so tired. I'm always worried. So I made a promise that this year I am no longer doing anything that I don't like. So I'm
Oh.
only gonna do things that brings me joy and happiness, and then life starting to change for me. And I agree. Are starting to get like a lot of energy, and then you see a lot of opportunities, and then life supports you, or universe,
Yeah,
God, whatever you want to call it, when you go
that is so true.
towards. That is so true. And like when I realized, like, oh my God, I don't have to make it so hard for me. I don't have to do all these things, make things happen, plan everything. I can, but it comes with a lot of trust and surrender. And since I developed that trust and surrender, that if I trust and surrender and just follow that joy, then everything will be okay. Everything will be fine. But it was hard because my brain's like, no, you need to do this, you need to work, you need to do this. And then, but no,
Yes.
I was like, when I let go all of that, life supports me, and I can't, and I'm fine. Everything
Yeah.
will be, yes, and then I can relax, and I don't have to work so hard, I don't have to worry so much. I just trust that I follow this joy, whatever it is, because I don't even know where it's going to take me, but you keep following that joy, and life supports you. That abundance comes in, and then opportunities, creativity, joy, excitement, energy, vitality, it starts. And then things starting opening up, and then you're like, oh my God, this is magical. It's so crazy, and I love it. And from now on, I'm no longer, I stop doing, if it's not in alignment with joy, then I don't do it. I'm like, now, never mind. But if it brings me happiness and joy, and it works, it does. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. Your energy is like so, I feel it through the screen. It's so magnetic.
Yeah, a lot of people say
yes.
that too.
But
but
it's
it
really,
works.
it is what, that is so interesting. So if we are learned that you have to put hard work, a lot of hours, be exhausted, and sometimes you can work hard. That's okay, but it's the joy is really like the guideline. That is the guideline on your path. And what it does, I'm back with the scientific part. When you are having or are experiencing joy, you feel energy. You feel, if you come in a room and you have to talk about your passion, your purpose, people will feel your energy. They will feel your authenticity, because you are making decisions, and they will, like whatever you say, they will
It'll work
follow
out.
your ID. They will buy your, because they feel it. It's not we are chemistry. It's a you're doing a lot of things, like your stress hormones are going down. You have, like, if you see with animals, animals will follow the one that is calm nervous system, like not especially the one that is like having so much fun, but fun is a good guideline. It gives you peace. It gives you your stress hormones go down, so you will be magnetic, whatever you do, and it's like your sweet spot. You're good at it, you love it, and that's your golden thing. So I'm so happy for you that you are feeling that, and that the universe, it is true, because people notice it, like, wow, she has such a good energy. I like being with her. It makes me feel good because it feels safe. It's fun. So it grows, like, you attract things.
Yeah.
So thank
Yeah.
you. That's congratulations, your decisions.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. It was really hard but you get to the point where you're so exhausted and tired, and then like it would suck the life out of you. You would feel it. And then when the moment I let go and stop doing the things just for the sake of it, I drop everything. I'm like, no, no more. I'm just gonna do things that brings me joy. Like after I drop my kids off to school, I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. I'm gonna do what I love. And then, man, it just feels so good. And then you relax. You relax. Your nervous system relax. You feel safe, like you're not in a rush anymore. And that is amazing. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Such a good story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Always good vibes, high energy.
High
It
energy.
reflects that.
Wow. It's so good. You know what? It makes me think of something. Yeah, red flags maybe. Like, we were talking about it. Like, if you are convincing yourself, so you hear a voice constantly, like convincing, yeah, I don't feel so good, but yeah, let's go to work. We should do this. This is okay. Like, if you're convincing yourself, if you're convincing others that your job is, or your relationship is totally fine, if you feel a full body alignment, you're not convinced, you don't feel the need to convince yourself or others. So that is maybe a little orange flag. Like, maybe you should take some time, take a paper, write down what is really like feeling as a friction or something, and go into the centers, close your eyes and feel the centers, go in there. But feeling exhausted, like you were saying, it's Becky, right? Your name was Becky? Yeah.
Oh, Rose.
Yeah. You were saying feeling exhausted, that's really a red flag. Feeling drained, exhausted, you really have to look at the different areas in your life. Where does it really manifest itself? Like, you feel so drained. That's important. It's important. A lot of things are happening in your body when you feel drained. Your hormones, or your stress hormones, I'm not going to bother you guys with all the scientific stuff, but your neurological system is totally in awareness. We are made for a peak of awareness, like, whoa, there's a tiger. I have to fight, flight, freeze, and then relax. It's not, we are in constant aware, or like, ooh, we have to be aware of our surroundings. This might be dangerous. So if you are in that, that's not good. It's not good. It's not doing good for your body. If it's definitely feeling drained. And a big one, if you used to be a good sleeper and suddenly you're not a good sleeper anymore, that is a red flag.
Yeah.
It's recognizable, but it's a red flag. Something is going on. It's not good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I appreciate bringing that point out. A lot of times we just simply don't know what we don't know, because we lived all our lives mostly being on high alert. Our nervous system is simply activated all the time
That's a good
because of the
way to
trauma.
put it. Yeah. That's
And
really,
so
that's
good
your,
awareness. Do we feel
Mhm.
drained?
yeah.
Like we're always on offense, or I should say defense,
Yeah.
looking out for dangers. That's a telltale sign that we are constantly, our nervous system is activated
Mm.
Yeah.
for dangers that don't exist really, for traumas.
Yeah.
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 Josh, I think you had a question.
Yes. Thanks for sharing, Ruth, and thanks for sharing, Rose. Ruth, my question is, do you mind, it's a two-part question. So the first question is, do you mind sharing the 4 centers again?
No, not at all. I would love to. So I'm gonna go from head down. So the first center is your head. So really like your thoughts, is your intellect challenged? Is it like, can you see the practical side of things? Like, I can see this, it gives you structure. It's like you can grasp it with your mind. That's the head. Your heart is really like this warm, loving, it's a safe feeling, like you can relax. If you imagine someone you love, you have a love connection with, or you had a love connection with, you feel safe with that person. Or even if that person is not around you, you still feel safe. You know that they will defend you wherever you are. Like, it's safe, it's good, it's warm. In your tummy, it's like fun, inspiring. Ooh, this is like exciting. It makes you wonder about things. I don't know if it's the same thing. Like if we say in Dutch, like wonder, it's a good thing. It's like, ooh, it's exciting. It's fun, laughter. They bring out the best in you. Your job is bringing the best out of you. It's fun. And then you have your sex center, especially with a person you can really relate to it. Like, that person is so attractive to you. It's like their energy, like how they move, the chemistry, how they smell. It's like so, wow. You really like, it's so physically attractive to you. If it's like a job or a house, of course, I don't think it's really a sexual attraction, but it's like excitement. For me, it's like, oh, I want to call my friends and tell them all about, like, sending them pictures. I know if I do that, it's good. If I don't do that, if I feel like, maybe, and I'm not sending pictures or not calling or not sending a text to them, I'm like, I'm missing some excitement here. And with a person, it's really like that, that chemistry. It's so, and so in tantric practitioners, they say it's like, if you choose things 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4, because 3 out of 4 is maybe a lot of potential, maybe that one center, you can really build on that center. So 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4, you can really make that decision. It's safe, it's good, let's do this. Like, it's good. Your inner compass is telling you, let's do this, let's try. And I just want to add, you can go the other way around. You can go from the sex center to the head, because your head is sometimes so strong. And Noe, thank you for your addition. Like, the story in your head can be so strong, especially when it's a no. You go and examine that. Is it anxiety? But sometimes it's good to start from the sex center, excitement, then tummy, like, ooh, I feel so much fun, it's inspiring, then your heart, and then your head, because we have it the other way around. It's maybe more insightful, it's more from the body. And the second thing I want to add is, it's dynamic. You can feel a full body yes at some point, and then 4 or 5 years later, maybe you miss a center. Like in a relationship, has been so busy, you have children, you have career, you're missing all of the fun. So maybe somebody else is showing you that, because you feel attracted to another person that is so much fun, can I bring this back in my relationship? Can I deal with the fun? How is it? Can you talk? You should really talk about it. You find your way to talk about it, to maybe bring it back. But then if you do the efforts and then 6 months later or a year later, it doesn't change, maybe you reconsider things. That is important because sometimes we can put our head in the sand. We say they're putting their head in the sand, like, I'm just going to do like it doesn't exist. So yeah, so the centers, 4 centers, you can switch the direction sometimes because our head is very strong. If you have a very strong no, if you have your head, no, 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 then let's go reflect there. Is there anxiety? Is there something that is unsolved? Thank you, brain, for protecting me, but now you can shut up. It's dynamic. Sometimes it can change. You can bring things back. And maybe the third thing that was interesting, the orange and red flags. Are you convincing yourself? Are you convincing others? Are you feeling exhausted? Are you feeling unsafe? Oh my God, are you feeling unsafe? How horrifying if you feel unsafe in your job or in your relationship or in a friendship. That is important. If you were a good sleeper and you're not a good sleeper since like a few weeks or months, it's important. Your body is telling you something. If you've never been a good sleeper, that's something else. That can be, it also can be a sign. But if your sleeping pattern changed, it's important. So that's a little bit more, Josh, than you asked for. I hope it's okay.
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it leads me to like 2 more questions.
Yes.
I guess the first is to become fully aligned, then do you need a partner, or is it better to have a partner to like balance it out, I guess?
Oh, that's such a good question. I really think that we should feel aligned on ourselves first. Not first, it's not a condition. Like you have to be aligned and then you will find your partner. No, that's not true. But it's good to feel aligned in yourself, like the little decisions that you make. Like, oh, I'm gonna have a coffee. Now I feel like a coffee. I want to have a coffee now. Like those little things, like little exercises. Someone once told me, like, if you're doing a stretch and it feels good, like it can be exciting, but it feels good. And then you have like, wow, that's way too far. I'm gonna break something, like, or I'm gonna tear something. Like, make little steps for yourself, like little decision. Does that feel, or am I gonna go on that weekend trip or not? Like, you can exercise that muscle, that full body exercise. You can train that, and I don't think you need a partner for it, but in connection with others, in our love relationship, a lot of things trigger because we tend to choose our partner from maybe from a wound or something that you missed or something that, so it can be triggering, it can be so healing. So I think that your relationship, the alignment of your relationship is something different than your own alignment. So that's such a good question, that you have your own alignments and then you have the alignment of the relationship. So it doesn't need, your relationship is not your identity. I think. I don't know if is that something, it's just coming out now. I think you can, if your relationship doesn't make you feel aligned, So the relationship on itself, you can feel like, does it feel it? Do I feel it in my 4 centers? But it doesn't define you as a person. Does that help, Josh, or is it?
Yeah, it's making sense.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying. Become aligned with yourself, and then you can become more aligned in the relationships that you do have. Then your alignment with
Yeah,
yourself filter your relationships.
I don't think that you have to figure everything out before you can have a relationship. That would be so harsh, because you can go together, you can go on a journey. But I don't think that we need a relationship to feel aligned, but in our human nature, we crave connection. We crave connection. Underneath everything that we do, it is the desire for connection, real connection. So it's such a good question, because you will feel, if you feel aligned in your decisions, like, I'm going to drink this coffee, I'm putting my purpose into the world. And if it's in connection with others, with maybe a loving partner, with the world, that will feel even more intense because of the connection. That is, if you can make connection with somebody else in an alignment, I think we crave connection. So maybe we will feel more aligned if you have a connection. It might be, but I don't think that you must have a relationship, otherwise you are not aligned. That is also not true. You are perfect. You're a perfect human being, and you can make decisions that are good for you and feel aligned. Does that make any sense?
Yes. Is Tantra a non-dualistic practice?
A non-holistic practice?
Non-dualistic.
Dualistic?
Yeah.
Can you explain what you mean with non-dualistic?
Like there's no separation between I'd say the material and who you are, like spiritually. Maybe I'm explaining that wrong. Noe, am I explaining non-dualism?
Well,
correctly?
non-duality is the perspective that we're all one thing being expressed in an infinite variety of ways. Therefore, the experience that we're having is always a personal experience. I am here talking, but my perception of what's going on is very personal. So there's really no one out there. When Ruth is talking, Ruth is being Ruth. Ruth is experiencing her perception of what's going on here based on Ruth's perceptual filters. Therefore, in reality, there's no one out there. It's only Ruth interacting with Ruth, because we could be responding, but she's not hearing our response. She's only hearing who she is. Therefore, when I'm talking and interacting, I'm not understanding people as they are. I'm only understanding them as I am. So it's a spiritual. Everything's a spiritual perspective. Religion, spirituality, non-duality, everything's a mental construct. But in like, I think some science is based on like the observed effect.
Yeah, it's the quantum physics. Like the observer has his, so actually no experiment can be, because the observer has his influence on the result, because you are observing.
Oh, there it is. Also, the law of non-locality, that there's no here and there. It's just everywhere. It's the same thing, the same energy.
Yeah.
Quantum entanglement. We're here at this point on Earth, but at the farthest point of the galaxy, the universe, it's still that you do something here, the same thing happens over there. Everything's entangled, everything's connected. So I think that's what Josh is referring to.
Yeah. So I don't feel like an expert enough to go totally in, because I cannot like comprehend the whole concept that you of the non-dualistic way of seeing things.
What was your
But I
question?
think that
I'm sorry.
So would Tantra be considered like a non-dualistic practice,
Yeah.
right? Like it's everything is a reflection of you. So your alignment, it's kind of like what you were saying earlier, Ruth, right? Like what you choose to see is what you're going to see, right? So
yeah,
if you're in alignment, then the things brought into your reality would be an alignment with you, right? So
yeah.
is Tantra practice, I guess, of that? Is that
Yeah.
the essence of Tantra, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Yeah. The essence of Tantra is really like the mystery of life, they say. Like Tantra is we know it because of movies like, oh, it's exciting and let's do this and let's do that with a sexual flavor. But real Tantra, they speak about oneness, and maybe that is an answer to your question. It's like the oneness because you choose what brings you love and joy, and then you look at the world from that point of view. Like you want to see the love, and like I was saying from a scientific part, like you want to see the love, and you are seeing those troller, was it troller? Yeah, the troller. Are you seeing that new car that you want? But in Tantra, it's the love and the passion. It's life force. You see it. You feel it in yourself. You connect from that force with another person, and you connect to the world. Actually, for me, that is how I would explain spirituality. Like you feel aligned with yourself. You can connect with another person in alignment, and then you connect with the world in alignment. And then you can really experience that oneness. And now you are asking me that question. Maybe,
You just
yeah,
answered
it
it.
is.
You just
Yeah.
answered what non-duality is, and,
Wow.
and spirituality at the same time. That's a very, very good description. There's so many ways
Yeah.
to perceive life, but what you're describing is non-duality.
Yeah, so
Creating our
it's a
experience.
new concept, but thank you. It's maybe like, it's like I like it because they always say to me, like my client this afternoon, he says like, you're so funny, like such a scientific nerd, and then you're so spiritual. And it's like, yeah, it's the same like Einstein. Not that I compare myself with Einstein. My God, Einstein is, but it's like where the not knowing starts, it's wisdom and it's energy and it's trust. And I think the more you know, you don't know anything.
I love that. That's
Hmm.
what I've realized too, 100%.
Yeah.
I love how you're leaning into the great mystery of the unknown, and this great intelligent energy and information is speaking through you, Ruth, speaking through all of us.
Thank you.
We're creating
Yes.
these beautiful experiences, and this intelligent energy that is here with us and everywhere was wanting to guide us to have a better experience of being human, right? And so that's what
Yeah.
how can we live in our authenticity with purpose, with full body yeses, mind, heart, tummy, our
Yeah.
sexual excitement centers, all these centers, right? So I so appreciate you. We're a little bit over the hour. I apologize for being
Yeah.
here. It's on
Sorry.
schedule.
Uh, such a
Unless
good.
anybody else has any comments, any last words, comments? Otherwise, oh. Yeah, we're so thankful, Ruth, for enlightening us today and making us aware. Really, something I wasn't fully aware, and I so appreciate that I ran into you. And I
Me
appreciate
too.
you being here today and spending your time and inspiring us all and helping us really like see, like create our own experience with, yes, this is for me. And
Yeah.
conversely, no, this is not for me. And really using our full essence to know like, okay, this is the way to go, or no, this is not the way to go. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for the invitation and these beautiful souls in your community. It's such a powerful and good thing. Thank you. It is connection. We crave it. It's our, yeah, it's connection and conversation. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Mhm.